Hello ladies, hope everyone's doing well today. Now you probably noticed something a little bit odd on today's video. I am not showing my face, I'm only showing my lower body. I've got on shorts and also I have on heels instead of tennis shoes. The reason that I'm focusing this way today is because I wanted to show you some other things we can work on for lower body. Now, I know you're probably still saying, what do heels have to do with that? People ask me all the time, do I run track or have I ever been a gymnast or anything like that? I'm going to be honest, I don't run a whole lot. Usually when they're looking at my legs, they're talking about my calves. So I'm just going to kind of give a view of what my legs look like, even from the back. I've even had men to ask me, what in the world do you do for those calves? I'm going to be perfectly honest, I don't do a whole lot of leg work. Certain parts of our body, we just genetically are fit for those parts of our body. Legs are that area for me, particularly my calf muscles. Everyone in my family generally has very well-toned calves. So I can't tell you a whole lot of things to do for your calves. I can tell you one thing that I do pretty regularly that I think helps to contribute to my calves staying as toned as they are. And I know the podiatrist is going to kill me for this, but I wear heels. And when I say heels, I mean heels, stilettos. 5 inch is probably the minimum for me. I like 6 to 7 inch heels. I wear these kinds of shoes to work every day. And I don't care what you say about that, it's what I like to do. But I can tell you that wearing these heels, I think, has been a part of contributing, because when you wear the higher the heel, the more you're forcing that muscle in your calf to contract. You take a look at my leg. So let me show you what I'm talking about. If you look at my leg that has the heel on, I'm going to take one off in comparison to one that has it off. You see the difference if I come up on that foot as opposed to being down on that foot. Okay? So I'm not going to tell you that you should wear high heels every day. But for those of you who do like to wear them, and it's an option for you. Oh, I almost tipped over there. It's an option for you if you are able to wear high heels. I'm just saying, when people ask me about my calves, that's one of the things that I point to, that I do wear high heels. But you'll notice it's not just my calf that gets activated in those heels. Look at my thigh. You can kind of see the definition that comes out in my thigh, even around my knees at the bottom of my thigh muscle. All right. So again, you'll notice when people talk about Tina Turner and having those Tina Turner legs, she wore a lot of heels and she really danced. Wow, in those heels. All right, so enough of that. Don't get yourself hurt wearing high heels. I tell my high school students, it takes a lot of practice to be able to maneuver those well. All right, so let me go ahead and put on my tennis shoes, the real kind of gear we're supposed to work out in. And we are still concentrating on our legs. And I am going to show you one exercise that you can do to work your calves. And those are simply calf raises. Got my other shoe on. Here we go. So calf raise is simply what it says. It's a raise that you're going to do from your calf on your toes. So raise up, back down to your heels. Raise up on your toes, back down to your heel. You can do that from the side so you can see my feet. It's up, back on your heels. Up, back on your heels. That's what it looks like from the back. Raising up. Do you see that calf muscle being activated in my leg? All right. See, if you're just starting out, see if you can do that anywhere from 25 to 50 times. If you've been doing some pretty good work with your legs, see if you can do at least a minimum to help build that calf muscle. You'll also notice when I do it, there is a little flex in the quadricep, just a little bit, okay? Now, the next few exercises we're going to do will be variations of lunges. You know what a lunge looks like. You think about my son takes fencing lessons and they do lunges in fencing. It's actually a pretty active sport. And you simply in that fencing, we'll lunge out with that blade. Well, we're going to do lunges, and we're going to do a standard lunge, and we're going to do some variations of the lunge as well. With the lunges, if you like, for extra resistance, you can use your weights, all right? But first, I want to focus on just the standard form. So, with our lunge, we are going to step out with our right leg into a bend. Now, I want you to look at my form. Look at that right leg that I have. You'll notice that it does not go past my toes. You should still be able to see the tip of your toes, all right? I am bent down almost in a squat position with the opposing leg. And that leg, the knee, is pointing towards the floor. All right? So again, I'm going to come up. I'm going to go down. Again, my knee does not extend past my toes. Up. Down. Okay. Again, you can use your weights to give yourself added resistance. You'll notice that that back heel of mine, let me come over a little closer, you can't see it that way. That back heel of mine does not touch the floor. My right foot remains planted into the floor. Okay. You go down as low as your ability and flexibility level will allow you, especially if you have trouble with your knees, okay? So you can switch out. I would see starting out, if I could do maybe 3 sets of 8 to 10, 8 to 12 rather, on one leg and then switch out to the other. Those of you who are a little bit more advanced, you should be trying to do at least 15 to 20 of just a standard lunge, okay? Now, there are a couple of variations of this that we can do as well, all right? We're going to switch and use the left leg this time. So I lunge, and when I come up, I'm going to lift that right leg. Okay. Now, actually, these are going to be more so with what we call a walking lunge. So let me just do the walking lunge first. It's kind of hard for me to do because the field of vision for my camera is not as long. So I step out, lunge, come up, kick that leg out, opposing leg. Step out into my lunge, step out, kick that other leg up, opposing leg. Okay. Let me show you that again. Yeah, it's a little bit more challenging for me to do it because the field of vision on the laptop camera is not as wide. I step out on my right leg into the lunge. I lift the left leg up as I come up. I come up. You can plant or you can go into the next move. I step out, lunge, lift up. Okay. You'll see that that's going to work with quads, hamstrings, your glutes, and somewhat your calves too as you go down into the lunge. Okay. So that's one variation of, well, with the walking lunges, you can do it as a standard or you can do it with the kickback. Right. Another variation that you can do with a walking lunge is a plie lunge. All right, so this time as I step out, I'm going to turn my toes out, again, as far as you can with your ability level. So I step out, I'm still not bringing my knee past my toes. Come out into the lunge, I step up. I'm stepping out on my left foot, into the lunge, I step up. Okay, let's try that again. My toes are turned out. Then step out to the right, into the lunge. I step up, bring my left foot back together. Toes are still turned out. I step out, down into the lunge, step up, bring my right foot together. Okay? Again, I would try to do, depending on your ability level, starting out, maybe 8 to 10, 8 to 12. If you're a little bit more intermediate or advanced, at least 15 to 20. Right. Now, the third type of walking lunge that we can do is called a double dip. So you're just doing a lunge, it's just, you're going to do it twice before you step to the next leg. So, starting off on our right foot, you step out into a lunge, dip, come up, dip, come up. Bring our legs together. Step out into the next lunge, dip, come up, dip, come up. All right, let's demonstrate that one more time. I step out into my lunge, dip, come up, dip, come up. Bring my legs together, step out into the lunge, dip, come up, dip, come up. Again, bend my lower back. Do not extend your knee beyond your toes. You're not a track runner getting ready to sprint. You're dipping, you're doing lunges, okay? So we don't want to extend beyond our toes. Look at my form here, okay? Keeping your back straight. Right? Dip down in your hips. All right? So those are the different lunges that we can do. Again, you can use weights. You can either do a stationary lunge, where you're simply stepping out, stepping back in, stepping out, stepping back in. Or you can do one of our variations of walking lunges, such as stepping out, kick back, bring together. Stepping out, kick back, bring it together. Okay. Again, these lunges are pretty much going to work your entire lower body, as well as kind of giving you a little bit of a cardio workout, because our quads, our legs are the biggest muscles in our bodies. So the more we use them, the more we make our heart work. And so if you're looking to get your legs toned and get a little cardio in at the same time, lunges can be great for you. All right, now the next couple of exercises we're going to do actually require us to be on the floor. So if you have a mat, grab a mat. And I forgot my ball. Let me go grab my ball. Come on. If you have a ball, you can use a ball. If not, you might want to just use a weight. Okay? So, now these exercises we're going to do here on the floor. We're going to do some leg lifts on the floor. We're going to do some leg lifts. So you're going to lie flat on your back. Just lie flat on your back. All right, I'm taking my left leg and making like a pyramid out of it, a triangle out of it. And I'm going to do it with my right leg so you can see the other leg in action. And I'm going to lift the opposing leg. My left leg is being lifted with my foot flat, like I'm going to press towards the ceiling. Okay? And I'm simply going to lift in my hips towards the ceiling. When I'm lifting, ooh, giving out a goodie shot. I'm lifting, keeping my foot flat towards the ceiling. The leg that's being lifted, you can keep that knee slightly bent. Right? Show you what it looks like from the opposing side. Now you'll see, even the leg that's supposedly resting, the one that's in the air, if you keep that foot flat, you're actually flexing the calf muscle. Okay? Lift, lift. Again, you're working your entire lower body, including your core. You should have felt a little pull down here in this lower ab. Right? Now, the next floor exercise we're going to do called bridges, swinging bridges. Well, actually, move this ball out of the way. For right now. Bridges first and then swinging bridges. Okay, kind of like a pelvic thrust. My ladies who had babies, or those of you who are not as pure as the dripping snow anymore, I've talked about sex being a great way to get some calorie burn in. You can actually do a little weightlifting with that as well. But anyway, that's a whole other story. All right, you're going to put your feet mat width apart, like you're getting ready to give birth, and simply lift your pelvis off the floor, keeping your shoulders and your head on the floor, and lower. Lift, squeeze your buttocks, squeeze your glutes as hard as you can as you come up. Release on the down. Lift up, and down. Lift up and down. All right. It's actually pretty simple. You can do this while you're watching TV. You might even want to put a little weight on your abdomen as a little extra resistance on those lower abs actually. Lift up and down. Don't forget, squeeze up, release down. All right. Try to get in 20-25 of those. 3 sets of 20 to 25. Okay. Now I can do that same exercise. We're going to modify it a little bit with a swinging bridge. I'm going to lift myself up and I'm simply going to sway like you're on a suspension bridge from side to side. So I sway right, sway left, sway right, sway left, sway right, sway left. Each right to left counts as 1 repetition. Right, left, right, keeping my shoulders on the floor. Now, do not let your butt touch the floor. Okay? All right, so that's the swaying bridge. Now, one of the floor exercises I want to do, I'm using my ball, which is a pretty big one. If you have a smaller ball, you can use that. You might use a pillow to get where you can do this better. But all I'm doing simply is squeezing, squeezing, squeezing the ball, squeezing. What am I working as I squeeze this ball? Inner thighs. Remember we said the other day, inner thighs are very hard to work. It's kind of like that machine that, what's her name, from Three's Company, was selling at one point, when you were squeezing your thighs. Well, take a ball and do that. Now, what if you don't have an exercise ball? Take your kids' volleyball or soccer ball or basketball and try doing it. If you don't have that, take a pillow, especially if you're just starting out and you're not as flexible as you want to be in your hip joints yet. Take a pillow and just squeeze it in and out. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. All right. Take a weight. Put it between your thighs. Again, if you can, hold it there. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Okay? All right, so those are our lower body workout tips for today. Again, we focused on lunges, and then we first started out talking about calves. And I told you the fact that, part of what I do for my calves is I wear heels. We talked about lunges, which work your total lower body, and then we did some floor exercises, including bridges and leg lifts, and simply squeezing. And you don't have to be on your back. You can stay on, stay up, sitting in bed watching TV, and squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Right? You can also work those Kegels on the inside. Kegels. Some people say Kegels. On the inside while you're doing that. As a matter of fact, let me try that. I can feel it still. Squeeze. Oh yeah. Your husband will appreciate this. Boyfriend or whatever your significant other might be. All right. So, as always, I appreciate the opportunity. I consider it a blessing to be able to do these little videos for you. Hopefully, you get some benefit from them. As always, here's to your health and happiness. Eat well, eat often, exercise well, and exercise often. Love you. Mwah.